Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of selections from Herodotos, and just reading through book 1 and up to chapter 12. Just before I do that, just to go back to this verb hypolabusa here, it is ambiguous. It can just mean to reply, so she said in reply, or it can also bear the meaning of to take a side, so I think it's ambiguous here. So coming back to chapter 12, so poor old Gyges has had a rather unpleasant choice to make, either to kill his master Kandaules or to perish himself, and he decides to choose the former option. So hoste tusan ten epipulen nuktos genomenes uga emetia te hoguges udi hoi ein apalage udemia ala ede e auton apollolenai e Kandaulia hepeto es ton thalamon te gunaiki. When, now this is from artuo, to make artos, to make ready. So when they had made ready the plan, the plot, nuktos genomenos, genitive here, genitive absolute, it being night, uga for Gyges had not. Now this word here is from methiami, and it's a passive here, was not being released. So this lack of aspiration, the met here is from metha, and this is from hiami, and this is passive. So for Gyges was not let go, he wasn't released, so he couldn't escape, nor was there hoi for him. We've seen this dative before for auto, nor was there for him udemia any apolage. There was no means of escape, no way of separating himself, so no way out. But it was necessary, imperfect from day, it was necessary either for him to perish or for Kandaules to perish. So all that is thus, and he followed from hepamai, he followed, and takes a dative, the woman, or perhaps the wife here, into the thalamon, into the bedroom. Bit of variatio here. We had oikema or something like that before. Now we've got thalamon, which is the more usual word for bedroom. Kaimin ekene epikeridion dusa katakrupte hupaten auten thuren. And she, having given to him min for auton, an epikeridion. This is an interesting word. In much later Greek it comes to mean a handbook, in the modern sense of just a shortened summary book, a handbook of something. Here it's something which you hold in your hand, and hence it has that meaning, but in this earlier stage of Greek it means here a dagger. Something small you hold in your hand is a dagger. So she, having given to him a dagger, interesting example of how words can change their meaning. So she having given to him a dagger, katakrupte, I think it has to be she still as the subject. She hid him down, so she secreted him, hupaten auten thuran, behind that very same door. Kai metatauta anapau omenu Kandaulio hup ectus te kai apoktenas auton eske kai ten gunaika kai ten basilean guges tu kai archilakos hoparios kataton auton chronon genomenos eniambo trimetro epimneste. So things move quickly at this point, and after these things, genitive absolute, when Kandaules had rested, literally perhaps lain down from anapaomai, so when he was resting, hup ectus, slipping out from under. So this is now referring to Gyges, which is down here. So Gyges slipping out. Well, the hoop has that sense of secretly. So he slipped out secretly, understand, from behind the door, and having killed him, Eske from echo, he took, now we get Kai and Kai, both the woman, so both his wife and the kingdom. Now we get this funny little reference here to, of whom, he's delayed Gyges to the end of the sentence here, so that he's got the relative here. So, of whom also Archilochus the Parian, this is this famous poet, and the reference here to Archilochus is thought by some to be a later interpolation. Also Archilochus the poet, literally having been in existence at about the same time, makes mention, and then was the two here, makes mention of him in an iambic trimeter. Now, he doesn't quote the line here, but there is an extant line, apparently from Archilochus, which reads, Umoi ta gugia tu polycrus mele, which roughly translated means something like, I couldn't care less, literally there is no concern for me, in respect of the things of Gyges, the man with much gold. So I couldn't care less about Gyges' affairs, the man who has much money. Eske de ten basilian kai ekratunthe ectu en Delphi cresteriu. Now, of course, Herodotus places great emphasis on fate. So he sees all of this happening as a result of fate, and also therefore connected with oracles. So Eske, this is Gyges, he held the basileia, the kingdom, and ekratunthe, this is passive here. Well, it's hard to put the verb, kratuno is to be strong, it's hard to put that into passive in English, so perhaps like something like he was confirmed in his position. So he held the kingdom and he was confirmed in his position ectu cresteriu, as a result of the oracle in among the Delphians, literally, so in Delphi. Hosgade hoi ludoi denon epoiunte to Kandaules pathos kai en hoploisinesin sunebesin es tauto hoi de tu gugie stasiotai kai hoi loipoi ludoi ein men in brackets day to cresterion an ele min basileia enai ludon ton de basiliuain ein de me apodunai opiso es Heracleidas ten arcane. So a long sentence here. So needless to say that the local Lydians were somewhat horrified that their king had been murdered, and so he says here that for when, in fact, the Lydians, or perhaps since indeed the Lydians regarded what had happened to Kandaules, literally the suffering of Kandaules, to be Danon, to be a terrible thing, and they were en hoploisi, well, it's just like our English, they were up in arms. Literally, they were in armour, they were with arms. So since the Lydians regarded what had happened to Kandaules to be a terrible thing, and were up in arms, literally, sun ebesan es ta'autu, they came to the same place, so they came to an agreement. This is an idiom here from sumbino, and then ace, this is ace to auto with crassus here. in this dialect. So they came to an agreement, and then we get a te and kai, both the Stasiotoi. These literally are the faction leaders. This is Stasiote, supposed to clench in masculine noun, that belong to Gyges. So some of the Lydians took Gyges' side, and these are the ones who are revolting. So perhaps the factions of Gyges and the rest of the Lydians. So they came into agreement that if the prophecy, now anhele is a funny word. It's for here it's often used of prophecies to to validate. So it's connected with hyreo and halon, to choose and so on. So perhaps appoint or confirm. So if the oracle might confirm, it's a subjunctive here, him as king, him to be king of the Lydians, then he will rule, he will be king. Ademe, but otherwise, so if not, then the arcane, this refers to the rule, so the power would be given back again, so it would be handed back, opiso, to the Heraclidae, to the descendants of Heracles. Ein hele te de tokresterion, kai ebasiliusi huto Gyges. The oracle confirmed, in fact, understand him, so the oracle confirmed him as king, and thus Gyges ruled. Ebasiliuse. Toson dimentoi epehe pithiae, hos Heracleides tisis hexe es ten pempton apogonon vugio. And the Pythia said, however, now that's important, the mentoi, so however the Pythia said the following thing, that tissus is vengeance. It's connected with that tino verb of getting revenge. Tissus, very strong word in Greek. Revenge, hexe, future from heiko. Revenge will come to the descendants of Heracles in the fifth apogonon generation after Gyges. Now this is a reference here, as we'll see, to Croesus, and the counting is inclusive here, as often in Greek. So they said that vengeance will come to the descendants of of Heracles in the fifth generation after Gyges. Tutu tu epios ludoi te kai hoi basiles auton logon udena epoi unto prinde ep et teleste. And the Lydians and their kings, now the main verb is here, it's poio in the middle, to regard, so they regarded this logon, this word, as nothing. So I've got to get the tutoi to epios. So of this, this is from epos, a word. So it's something like regarding this word, regarding this prophecy from the oracle. So of this word, the Lydians and their kings, made no account of it. Made it of no account, that's probably the best way to translate it. So they made it of no account. Prinde, until, in fact, it had been fulfilled. So we get epitelio, this is the aorist passive here from epitelio, so until it had been fulfilled. So they paid no attention to the prophecy. The oracle said that Gyges was confirmed, and that's all they cared about, and they ignored the second part of the prophecies that said in 5 generations' time. in the fifth generation after Gyges, that vengeance will come. And this, of course, is a reference now to what Herodotos is going to go on to talk about, which is the reign of Croesus. And that's the end of chapter 13.